I have the Radiolink D460 Turbot or Turbo, depending on your language, whether it's English or French. But this is going to be the maiden flight of this plane. I apologize for the constant beeping on the transmitter. I think I have it set up for 3S LiPo rather than a 2S LiPo in the transmitter, you know, for the battery voltage. So I've got my timer set for 6 minutes. So let me start my timer. Get out here and get it ready to launch into the wind. I'm going to sidearm it here. I've got it in fully stabilized mode. Okay, so let's give it about 60% throttle and launch. Ooh, that took off big time. Okay, we're in fully stabilized mode. Oh, that's a slow flyer. Look at that. Looks like I need some help on Expo in the elevator. Wow. That really flies slow. Alright, let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, it moves out pretty good. Look at that slow turn. That gyro was really working there to keep it level, right? It's kind of a strange looking plane, but I think it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of futuristic. Quiet. Very quiet. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to climb up, get some altitude, and then put it into wind mitigation mode just to see what we have. Oh. Whoa. Yeah, I got to do some work on the trim on that. Alright, let's see here. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not used to flying with a low profile, you know, a small profile controller. How about that? Whoa, that makes tight turns. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to change the linkage on it to tone it down for me. With the I keep trying to use rudder on it, but it doesn't have a rudder. I'm pretty twitchy on the controls here with this little transmitter. I'm really twitchy on the controls with this little transmitter. Look how fast that turns. That is highly maneuverable. That is a tight loop. Alright, let's see, bring it in here slowly. think it's going to have unlimited vertical. Sure looks like it. Now that was coming into the wind. That is slow. I'm kind of surprised, but the rolls look pretty tight and axial on it. I wish I was better with one of these little small transmitters, but I'm not. I didn't grow up with a game system, you know. So I'm having to be really gentle on the controls here. But once I get the linkage worked out on it to where it's a lot softer on the controls, as you can see, even though I'm having a really hard time with this small profile transmitter with the linkage set up the way it is, I'm able to perform these maneuvers pretty smoothly. But I think this is going to be a very fun plane. I'm going to put it back into stabilized mode. Okay, we're going to bring it in here. Let me see where my wind is. I think it's still coming from behind me. All right, let's see how softly we can set it down. Not bad. That was almost a vertical landing. I think that is going to be a really, really cool plane. The slow flight capability of this, because I mean the whole thing is a lift body. The slow flight capability on this is just absolutely tremendous. Now you saw how abruptly you could make those turns and those maneuvers. Now I didn't want to do that, but I'm going to put my throttle safety switch on here. But that's a pretty cool looking airframe when you get it in the air, and I love the paint scheme because it is highly visible. So I am going to reconfigure that transmitter so it knows there's a 2S in it instead of the 3S for the battery telemetry. And then I'm going to adjust the linkage to soften up the controls for me. And then I'll come out and fly it with the T8S again. And then on the third flight, when I bring it out, I'm going to have it paired up with the TX16S. Because I am not soft on the controls, so I really need a full-size transmitter. All right, so I want to thank Radiolink for sending this for review. It is it's different, but it's really, I think it's a cool looking little plane. I like the fact that the whole body is almost like a wing. You know, the whole body is a lift body. So you saw how slowly I was able to make those turns in the air. I mean, it almost just hovered and pivoted, almost like a 3D plane. And how slowly I was able to cruise around with it, just doing these circuits and stuff. Even though these controls don't match, you know, my abilities for being smooth on the sticks, the rolls looked like they were nice and tight and axial, a little fast for me for sure. But yeah, so I'm going to adjust the linkage. It's an elevon only plane, so I'm going to adjust the linkage on the elevons and really soften them up. You saw how tight. You saw how tight a couple of those loops were, and I wasn't even putting in full elevator. So the default linkage setup on this is way too abrupt for me. So I will soften those up, and then we'll put it back in the air again. But it's a pretty darn cool little plane. So stay tuned for that. There are links to it in the show notes. So, and it comes with everything that you need. Everything, the canopy is held on magnetically, and it's not going to go anywhere. The vertical stabilizer is held on magnetically. It's not going to go anywhere. And the vertical stabilizer is the only thing that you had to attach to the airframe other than the prop. So it comes nearly fully assembled. There's no screws, there's no glue required. It's all held together with magnets. For the ready to fly version, you also get the transmitter, and mine came with 2 flight batteries, so it comes with every single thing you need. And it also came with a spare prop, and it came with 5 of those little rubber O-rings that attaches the prop to the motor. It looks to me like not only does it have really good slow flight capability, and not only is it very aerobatic and maneuverable, but it looks like even on 2S, it looks like it's going to have enough power to have unlimited vertical. The all-up weight on mine, I think it came out to 183.7 grams, so well under 200 grams. Well under, you know, the sub 250 gram range. So plenty of power. You should get plenty of flight time from it, and extremely maneuverable with a very good wide flight envelope. So stay tuned for my tuning flights, and we'll get it flying exactly the way I like it to handle, and then we'll be able to put it more through its paces. So links to it in the show notes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.